Hope we had a nice day. All right, so today we'll be having a very important discussion that I wish at the end of the day, persons will get inspired, that everyone that are present in this night's live stream will find a cause to say, yes, it was worth it. So at this point, do me the favor to bring in friends, relatives, as much as you can. And let's see how we get started in earnest. So I will appreciate if you can bring in your friend, your relative, as much as you can. Let's see how to start up in earnest. We'll be talking about a very interesting topic, a very timely one. And I am very, very certain that you'll find this night's discussion very rewarding. Okay, for those who are already connected, how was your day? I hope you had a nice day. Hope your day went well. And I hope you have been able to catch up some rest before now. I hope work was nice. Yeah. So this night's meeting, I believe it will also help you to unwind. All right. Thank you so much. I think we can start in earnest. So at this point, I want to appreciate everyone that are currently active and present in this night's live stream. I still remain Wisdom AKIBA. So I am Wisdom AKIBA, your mental health therapist. At the same time, I'm also a public health personnel. Thank you for having me in this live stream. As at this point, I want to appreciate everyone that's connecting with us. So you may be asking, or you may be saying, what's this night's discussion all about? So this night discussion, I gave you the title, The Phoenix Effect. Rising from the ashes of pain to achieve greatness. The Phoenix Effect. Rising from the ashes of pain to achieve greatness. There are a couple of things I want us to get out of this night's discussion. Thank you, Favor. Thank you, Favor. You're welcome to this night's live stream. All right, so I don't know how many of us have heard that word phoenix before, but for those who have not heard about it, yeah, you're actually in the right place. I'll enlighten us a bit about what the phoenix represents. So the phoenix is actually, please, if you can get me, let me be sure that my audio is loud and clear enough. Let me know in the comment box. If you can get me, let me know in the comment box. All right, thank you so much, Favor. Thank you so much. I'm so excited to have you here. All right, is there any other person that can get me very well? All right, thank you. Thank you. So the phoenix is a mythological bird that symbolizes rebirth, resurrection, regeneration. It is said to burn out of its ashes. After it has stayed for a while, it will ignite flame on its nest, and then it will burn to ash. The flames will burn that very phoenix. It's a bird, it's a mythological bird, to burn it off to ash. And after a while, in the period of, say, every 12 years, it will burn itself to ash, ignite the fire, burn itself to ash, and then it will be reborn again out of that same ash. It will rise up again. This circle represents a circle of life, death, and rebirth. Take notes of those words. They are selective words. It represents a circle of, one is life, which I will call birth. Then the second is death. And the last phase is that of rebirth. Rebirth. So the phoenix is associated with renewal and regeneration. It is associated with immortality and eternal life. The phoenix is a cycle of life and death. The phoenix is associated with transformation and metamorphosis. It's associated with transformation and metamorphosis. The phoenix is associated with hope and inspiration. So I believe that at the end of this discussion, someone will be inspired. The phoenix is associated with resilience and perseverance. It's associated with resilience and perseverance. I believe that at the end of this meeting also, someone who may have been thinking all is done for him or her, someone who may have been thinking that all hope is lost, will find a reason to pick up again, would find a reason to start up again, will find a reason to continue. That's the purpose. For those who have not taken time to go through my recent live stream, I did a live stream on depression. A lot is happening recently. And a couple of persons are at the point where they are almost throwing in the curtain. They're almost drawing up the curtain. They're almost throwing in the towel. They're about giving up. A couple of persons have already given up. And it is necessary that discussions like this, meetings like this, will come up so that they will draw inspiration. They'll see that the challenges they are going through is not just unique to them. That challenges are unique to mankind. And a lot of persons have gone through them and come out strongly. They have come out with strength. They have come out with so much strength that they rise that you can't even measure. You can't even predict how much and how far they would have gone or they would go. So I want to appreciate you that is connected to this meeting. If you are at that verge where you think that all is done for, you think there is no hope, I believe at the end of this meeting, you will draw hope from it. So the phoenix is often used metaphorically to describe someone or something that has risen from the ashes, overcome adversity, or experience a transformation. So we say the phoenix is a metaphorical term that is used to describe someone or something that has risen from the ashes. It has overcome adversity and experienced a transformation. So I don't know what ash you may find yourself today. The ash of shame, the ash of regret, the ash of disappointment. Your friendship circle may have burnt off to ash. The last hope you may have had, even this night, there might be someone out there that looks like this is the last opportunity. And at that point, someone out there may be like the whole world is dark. It's at its night season. We are here to tell you this night that you can rise. That's why this discussion, it's a timely one for such kind of persons. So let's go deep. I haven't talked about what the phoenix meant or what this very term, the phoenix, means, and the phoenix effect. The phoenix effect means bouncing back to life after a fall. The phoenix effect means rising from your ash. The phoenix effect means standing up and getting up. There is an adage that says, whatsoever doesn't kill you makes you strong. And also there is a wise saying that says, at the end of a tunnel there is light. So the tough, I think there's how that adage is being used. You say, when the road gets tougher, the tough gets going. Okay, when the going gets tougher, the tough gets going. Please, if you are with me, you can type that in the comment box. When the going gets tough, the tough gets going. When the going gets tougher, the tough gets going. You can type that in the comment box. Let me be sure how many persons are still hanging on with me. When the going gets tough, when the going gets tougher, the tough gets going. So there is there is an orator, a wise man who once lived by name uh, King Martin Luther the Jr. He once said that if you can't crawl, okay, he once said that if you can't fly, walk. If you can't walk, crawl. But by all means, make sure that you keep going. By all means, ensure that you keep going. By all means, ensure that you keep going. So, let's lay some emphasis. I would like to share just some brief life experiences that inspired this discussion for this night. I had I'll share a couple of them, and then I think someone will learn out of them. So I had an experience back then. Let's say that was around 2017, 2018, thereabout. Maybe 20, or let's say 20. I think it was 2016. Yeah, 2016. 2016, this happened. I was in the clinical setting, and we had a client who presented his daughter for management. This girl was about the age of 8 years, and she was from a family who had multiple children. So the father had multiple children. There are about 8 of them, and she was like she was like the third child. I think she was about the third child, but the first daughter. She was the first daughter. So she had cancer of the kidney, Wilms tumor. It's called Wilms tumor. She had the cancer of the kidney. And she have, at that age of 8, she have already undergone a, not less than not less than 8 chemotherapy sections. And at the same time, they had already done a lot of surgeries just to see how to remedy the situation. So I met her at that point where the surgery was no longer recommended. So they were just handling her. A couple of us know that cancer at some stage, you only manage it till peaceful death. So she was at that phase already. Pain relief that if they give you, it will knock you out. They will give to this girl. It was paracetamol. You can't even attempt giving her paracetamol at that point. Paracetamol was nothing. It was just like water. Pentazocine, for those of us who are in the medical field, was just like giving her water as at that point. They were managing her with stronger pain relief such as tramadol, cocaine, morphine, and so on. They kept increasing the dose just to see how to relieve her pain. She was in intense pain, like she was in intense pain as at that point of her life. The father never wanted to give up on her. You could see that energy in him. You could see that desire that if he has life, an extra life, he would, if he could even give his own life, he would donate it to the daughters at that point. And the truth about it was that the girl kept moving from one stage of pain to another. And at some point, compassion welled out of me. Encouragement at that point was not helping. Encouragement at that point was not enough. It went beyond contributing money for her as at that point, for the family as at that point. Money was not just enough, because during the course of management, when I was during that my clinical experience, I spent, I think, there about a month. So during that course, she has already gone to two chemotherapy sections already, and it was like they were just playing. It was just like they were playing. So I thought of what should I do. And then something struck my mind because some other of my colleagues who have contributed money just to see how to support. So I now remember that maybe which is something I don't easily do like that, but because of compassion, I had to step into that point of making that decision. So I thought of introducing the father to my pastor. Maybe through prayer, they could be able to help her out. So the father, after much psychoeducation and so on, the father accepted because he was a Catholic. And the kind of Catholic he was more or less like that traditional kind of Catholic person that goes to church only maybe certain periods, maybe a festive period and so on. But this sickness got this man, the sickness of the daughter got this man to the point where if you tell him anything, even though you tell him to become a Muslim, for the daughter to recover, he will become without hesitating, without thinking twice. So I introduced him. I say the father brother was also there. I introduced them to my pastor. To get appointment with my pastor, it's not that easy, especially the state pastors. But I was ready to go that length. As at that point, I had more or less, I was lucky enough, especially with the roles I had in church, so I could have access to my pastor, the state pastor, and as well, who was ready to link me up with that salvation ministry with our lead pastor. So that's the presiding pastor. So I explained everything to him 2 days before that Sunday. That was like on a Friday. So he was ready to link me up to the lead pastor. And he said, okay, maybe that Sunday, the first step, let him have some section after the church, pray for them, and then after which, if it doesn't turn out, the speed of the responsiveness does not come off as he need or as he desire, we will see how to link him up to our presiding pastor. That Sunday, at least there's something about, I know people carry different grace. For me, if I go to God in prayer, there are certain situations that if I go to God in prayer, then especially add fasting in it, God tends to answer. But in this case, it was as though it was responding, but it didn't give me what I was needing. So I had to tell my pastor. My pastor even had to include going to fasting for this, my state pastor. And then that very day, I was in church because he was the lead pastor and there was no one to take over service. So he was like, okay, let's wait after the service. He will now go with me to the hospital. It was a teaching hospital. So what happened was that towards the last service, 15 minutes to closure, my spirit told me that this girl will not make it. I was just grieved in my spirit. I was so grieved in my spirit. So what I did, I had to text my pastor that my spirit is telling me something else. I think we have to move. So my pastor had to organize with other persons, his workers that could go with him. While we're through organizing, the father called just a few minutes, not even up to 2 minutes after that thing came on me. I saw the father call. He said he doesn't understand the daughter, he doesn't understand we should pray and so on. It was the father brother that was with me in church that day. So I was like, okay, now we are coming already, we are coming. So we head on our way. Interesting enough, my pastor was like, okay, let me go ahead. He's coming, let me go ahead so that he will come with other brethren. Before I would reach the church, not even up to, it wasn't even up to the time, the space, because the distance was not that long. So it wasn't up to the space of 10 minutes on reaching the facility after the father have called me. I heard that she have packed off. And the father, as at that point, I met him, he was smiling. I knew this smile was deep. There are points in life where things reach you, that the best reaction that comes out of you When you were supposed to smile, it's tears. When you were supposed to cry, the opposite pops up and you just smile. There's someone out there that may be in that point, that at this point of your life, all you could do is just to smile. There's this song that says, I smile in the midst of the storm. And as at that point, he smiled. He told me, my brother, you have done your best. God has seen she has suffered. And maybe it was time for her to go. Please, if you are still with me, let me know in the comment box. Let me know in the comment box. If you are still with me, let me know in the comment box. So, he told me she couldn't make it. I've tried my best. Now, these are the pains that were attached to it. She was the first daughter. She was very smart, very intelligent. As at that age 8, she was already in primary 6. All her scores, she have never had less than second position in school. Very beautiful. The father, in fact, the mother of that child, because of this girl's condition, I think the mother left the father. So they had a divorce because of this girl's condition. So it was more or less a single parent kind of case. But in this case, it was the father that was taking care of them. And the father was just a mere farmer who was fishing and doing other farm stuff just to survive. And if they tell you, you don't want to hear how much you have spent. After all, she passed on. Another story I want to share, and then we see how to push further, happens to be my mom shared this story with us. There was a colleague of ours, a male colleague of ours, that passed through a whole lot struggle. We know, for those of us who are in school, as at this point, we know how much it costs to be in school. And the guy would sip garri just to see how to survive. He would trade clothes. He doesn't even have clothes to change and so on. The clothes will get torn. He just see how to push on. Handout he may not even have. In fact, students will even contribute for his transport, feeding, contribute to give him transport. You know, it's the best thing you could ever have is to have colleagues who are supportive. The best thing anyone could have in school is to have colleagues who are supportive. So he had colleagues who were supportive, and then they assisted him in getting handout, feeding, and all those things as much as they could. Outsiders may not do enough as you want. So, how he managed to finish school, come out with at least good grades. People liked him because he was very intelligent. And how he even had the school fee, only God knew. And then he graduated, he went for service. That was when they increased service allowances to, I think it was 17,000 as at then. So, the first money they paid him, was it 17 or 30,000? I think they had about 17 or 30,000 there. That was during Goodluck Jonathan's regime. So, my mom was doing a postgraduate course as at then. So, he picked the first morning, he came home. He said, let him come and say, at least his mom should eat his first sweat. The first money he ever made, the mom should taste of it. And then he rushed home. Northern Cross River to be precise. He was very excited. He was very happy. Sorry, please. He was very happy. And he came on the way. And on the way, just few miles to the village, the vehicle crashed. He had an accident. Guess what happened? An entire 32-seater bus, only him, died instantly. No other person died in that accident. That's life for us. Most times, life may not be predictable. Most times, life may not end as we plan. But not minding the pains, I know that your struggles at the end, God will not allow us end on a bad note. No matter the struggles you are passing or the trials you are facing, God will not allow us at the end of our struggle, someone else will repeat. This is my prayer for someone out there. So let's go to the phoenix. I was just taking the first aspect, which is just an introduction to the discussion. So the ashes of pain. There are people who may have been weighed down with trauma, loss, failure, not minding the pains you are passing through. Friends have disappointed you. Relatives may have abandoned you. Siblings may have abandoned you. I'm telling you that after this night's discussion, there is indeed light at the end of the tunnel. You will come out strong. I'm very certain about that. You will come out strong. You may be even struggling with the pains of mental health related concerns. The stress is so much to bear. It looks like nobody understands your pain. It looks like nobody can relate what you're passing through. The ashes of shattered dreams and broken relationships may be weighing you down now. But I come to tell you that those pains are part of what you need to grow. Those pains you are passing through as at this point are part of what will make you stronger for tomorrow. The challenges you are passing through today. My mentor, Apostle Joshua Selma, always say that your pains today will be what you use to teach someone tomorrow. So that when you see someone passing through the same condition, the same trial you're passing through, compassion will not allow, it will well out of you. That first incident I shared with us that has to do with that girl, and one which I may not go into much detail because I want to see how to go deeper into the discussion, happened to be when I lost my friend. When I lost a very dear friend in my life. There was no prayer I didn't pray. There was no prayer. Like, if you say someone prayed, I prayed. Seeing my best friend move from health to point he started vomiting raw blood. And he died in the pool of his blood. And I prayed. There was no prayer I didn't pray that day. Those were some of the points in my life I almost thought of, do this Christianity something really work? Is there really God? At some point, I doubted a lot of things. Seeing my friends, my best friend, going down to the grave. And I was praying. And God could not just turn down with mercy. That's why sometimes, if I tell some persons, I've seen things that sometimes it's so difficult that I don't know why I can't cry. There are things that happen. I just can't cry. Yes, it's difficult for me to cry because I've seen things in this life. And those things are the reason why I'm stronger today, like very strong. I've got to those points where I contemplated suicide. And lo and behold, I didn't know there were points that will make me stronger today. That when I see a suicidal patient, I know what they are passing through. I could relate with what they are passing through. That when I see someone in pain, I don't know who may have suffered through this very pain, toothache. I don't know who may have passed through. If you have had that condition, let me know in the comment box if you have had that condition, toothache, before. If you have had it, Let me know in the comment box if you have had that condition before. I don't think there's any pain that is more painful than that very condition, toothache. I don't think there is any pain that is very painful than that condition. Let me know your experience in the comment box. Is there anyone that have had toothache before? Is there anyone that have had toothache before? Let me see. Is it that way? Okay, sorry, please. Okay, who is there? 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 Okay, thank you. Favor say when the going gets tough, the tough keeps going. The tough keeps going. So who have had the experience of toothache before? Let me see. Let me see how many persons have had the experience of toothache before. Let me know in the comment box. There is no pain that is as painful as that pain. My experience of toothache, I was in school when mine happened. And if I tell you what happened to me was toothache, you will never believe. But do you know that after that very experience, I came out with a cure for toothache? Very simple cure that if you had toothache or your teeth is already decaying, that if I prescribe that very prescription for you, it takes you between the time frame of 12 hours to 72 hours to witness a total healing or almost total healing for toothache. Especially, although, in fact, not even minding the stage, because mine got to that very stage that me that didn't want, I didn't plan, in fact, I never negotiated to lose any of my teeth as at that point. So they suggested for me to go and do tooth extraction. Okay, Marilyn, thank you so much. Marilyn says that I have had it though. When my last tooth came out, the pain was severe. Yes, thank you, Marilyn, for sharing. Toothache can be that severe. It looks like, I think the next pain I'll compare to toothache is fracture or childbirth. Those are the two kind of pains I'll compare to toothache. I reached the extreme. I reached to the extreme of it that drug Penta was no longer useful to me. I was taking even up to, in fact, when I knew that pain relief was no longer working, was that when I took about 8 taps of paracetamol, it was like I was playing. I knew that pain are in grades. So as at that point, I was using needle, because my face got swollen. I was using needle to pierce to see if pulse can just come out so that the pain will go. Do you know that while I was piercing that needle to my face, it was bleeding, but I was not feeling any pain. Like, as at that point, my brain have adjusted. If you touch my body, by then it was very hot. My brain have adjusted to the point where I was not certain pains. I was no longer sensitive to certain pains. So if you pierce, I was just piercing it. Maybe if the pulse go out, if it was pulse, but the truth about it, there was no pulse coming out of it. It was rather blood that was coming out of it. So there may have been someone out there that your pain look like someone, or maybe others are not understanding you. They are not understanding you enough. Yes, this discussion is for you. This very discussion is for those set of persons who are in that phase of their life. It's for those persons. Let me tell us two analogy that would dive us deeper. A pregnant woman, when she is pregnant, she's happy in the beginning phase. Especially the married ones, they are happy in the beginning phase. But the pregnancy keep adjusting things about her. Her feeding, her sleep, her clothing, places she goes to, and so on. It adjusts a whole lot about her. Yes, it adjusts a lot about her. Sorry, I don't know. No. All right, all right. So it adjusts a lot about that very woman. And it gets to the point. The most interesting phase is when it gets to the third trimester. For those who are midwife who are connecting on this very live stream, I hope we know that when we want to know a woman is in the active phase of labor, is that point where clothes is no longer necessary. They can throw away their clothes, go naked without even knowing they are naked. I don't know if we have midwives in the house. If you have midwives in the house, let me know. Just indicate if you have midwives in the house. So, as at that point, pains. Pain could make you go naked without even knowing. So at that point, people may even be smiling, go about their normal life. They might even be telling you, you stay one place now. You cooperate, you align, and so on, telling you those words. But you are not on. If what is in your mind is like, you don't understand the pain I'm going through as at this point. You don't understand the pain I'm going through as at this point. That's what is going through your mind as at that point. So, when this woman is in labor, people don't understand the pain. When she's pushing, people don't understand the pain. When they tear her, which will medically call episiotomy, people don't understand the pain. I've even held one of the delivery where the woman, that was back then when I was still in school, she didn't even feel the pain of that blade that was tearing through her. She was not feeling it. So pain can so numb you sometimes that certain pains no longer become necessary. You no longer feel certain pains. But the truth about it is that it is that pain that is needed for that woman to be able to push. It is that pain that is needed for that woman to birth the baby. It is that pain that is needed for you to birth the next phase of your life. It is that pain that is needed for you to come out strong. It is that pain that is needed for your transformation. It is that pain that is needed for you to understand what people are going through. It is that pain that is needed for you to advise someone tomorrow, to encourage someone tomorrow, to be a defense to someone tomorrow. It is that pain. Another analogy I want to give us is that of plants, the seed. When you carry the beautiful seed, no matter how beautiful the seed looks like, and you put it into this earth, that is the soil. In the initial phase, that soil, when you bury, we know that nothing breathes once you are buried inside. So there are challenges that can choke you so much, it looks like you can't even breathe. Yes, it looks like you cannot even breathe. Trust me, there are challenges like that. And then that seed, like some of us, like many of us, like any of us out there, we may be thinking, are these people not considerate enough that despite my pain, they are still causing me more pain, like Job? That despite what I'm passing through, they can't even understand with me. So the seed is telling the person, the farmer, the sowers at that point, that you don't understand what I'm passing through. Are you that heartless that you put me in this dark earth? Are you that heartless that you don't know that I am not breathing? And people will be stepping on that seed. They walk upon it. Rain will beat that seed. The hot sun will beat that seed. What have you? It will beat upon that seed. And that seed is lonely most times. No light at all. There is no glimpse of light. There is no glimpse of light at all to hold on to. He's alone. There are challenges that could push you to the point where you are alone. To the point where everywhere looks darker. Just like that seed buried in the earth. Everything, the rain beats on you, the sun beats on you. Interesting enough, even the earthworm, they're still feasting on the flesh. Remember what the scripture says, except the corn of wheat falls to the ground, it abideth alone. But one day, it will spring up. It will spring up. It will rise up. And lo and behold, the seedling. Give it some days, depending upon the type of crop or the type of seed. Give it some years, and what you will take is admirable. That's very admirable part called the fruit. People did not understand what that seed suffered to bear that fruit. People never saw what that fruit in that earth passed through, the lonely nights, the darker nights to bear that fruit. People never relate with what it passed through to bear that fruit. And you know how people would do? They will say, this one is lucky. They will say, no be a lucky person. So you are struggling now. They will call you lucky tomorrow. No food today. They will call you lucky, that you are lucky. They never saw moments where you went hungry. They never saw moments where you never even had transport, but you kept a smiling face. They never saw moments where it was all dark. You were sick, but no money to get medication. What people only commend is the fruit. So like that seed, they only appreciate the fruit. Even throwing stones at it is the fruit. All they see is the fruit. And most persons will be so heartless that they even use stick on it to cut off the fruit. Even children climbs up to that tree for its fruit. Some can so get angry when they come, the fruit has finished, or maybe it doesn't bear fruit on time. And they'll be like, this tree, what have happened? How many years now? No fruit, nothing. That's how life looks like. There are people now in the face of your life, they are not even supporting you. They are not even encouraging you. They are even saying, in fact, you even hear what they are talking about you behind you. But one day, fruit, note this for a sure, that fruit attracts people. Fruit attracts a lot of things. Alongside things fruit attract. Hi, Debbie House, thank you for connecting to my live stream. You're welcome. So amongst the things fruit attract, it attracts people of all ages. It attracts insects of all kinds. Of all kinds. It even attracts the wind that will beat down. It attracts the rain and the sun. Fruit attracts things. It attracts stones and sticks. Yes, it does. So if you are in that phase of your life where you come back and you ask all these people that are running after me, that are saying, show me love, that are saying you are stingy, that are saying you are greedy, where were they when you were suffering? Where were they when you were passing through all the challenges? Know that fruit attracts people. Some may even criticize you by saying you are a stingy type, you are wicked, and so on. Know that fruit attracts sticks. Know that fruit attracts stones. So even when you have made it, you thought they will even stand by you. That those, please know this for sure, there are people that will never be happy with you. There are people that will never appreciate you. There are people like that, they will never appreciate you. Because fruit attracts sticks. Fruit still attracts stones. Yes, it does. So this is a word for someone out there. That for those who may be in the phase of life where they are already bearing some degree of fruit, and you are still asking, human being, why are they like this? That despite all I'm doing, they cannot even be impressed. They cannot even encourage me. Fruits attract sticks. Fruits attract stones. Yes, it does. Let me go a bit deeper. Another thing we need to note, just as I said earlier, your pains of today will help you to encourage someone tomorrow. Yes. Your pains of today will be the testimony you will use to encourage someone tomorrow. Go through the pains. Go through it in silence. Go through it in silence. Go through it in silence. The seed in several nights was in that earth silent, and no one was there to help. It didn't complain. Was buried in that earth in the darkest night. No one showed it light. It did not complain. Go through those pain. Go through the face of that pain in your silence. One day, one day, one day. That one day may not be 10 years from now. That one day may not be 5 years from now. That one day might be this night. Favor will visit you when you least expect. Hope will knock at your door when you least expect. Joy will knock at your door when you least expect. Go through it. An adage says that the bitter leaf you eat today will help you enjoy the pumpkin leaf you will eat tomorrow. The bitter leaf that you eat today will help you enjoy the pumpkin leaf you will eat tomorrow. Pains are not encouraging. Pains are not worth enjoying. Pains may not be bearable at most instances. Pains most time calls for you giving up. Pains most time calls for you to see the cruelty of life. Pains most time makes life lonely. Pains most time make life difficult. But go through them. Let me share this testimony. This story of mine, this experience of mine. I'll see how to use it to end, or maybe just one experience more and then we end for this night. So this night we're talking about the Phoenix effect. And I said earlier that the Phoenix effect is about you bouncing back and bouncing back strong in the midst of adversity, in the midst of your pain. And at the end, using your pain to encourage someone. Because your pain will be your testimonial of tomorrow. So back then, when I finished school, newly, I which I know a couple of us are even in that phase. I was just in need of what to do. So I was just applying for all jobs. I was just applying for all the jobs, seeing how I could get employed. I don't know who is even in that phase right now, where you're already applying. You're like, why is this employment something like this? Yeah, some people will even be complaining that Nigeria, they don't have jobs and so on. In my own case, I got first-hand information. For a couple of jobs I applied, I got first-hand information. So my challenge back then was one thing, which someone out there may even be facing it. That one thing boils down in connection. So I never had connection. I got jobs that more or less, if I tell you how much, okay, maybe let me just give a glimpse of some of those jobs. Some of those jobs were as high as 1.2 million per month. 1.2 million per month. So I applied like other persons, and a couple of them I was called upon for interview. Now that is where we're heading to in this discussion. The truth about it was that a couple of them, after the interview, I don't even know where they threw my name. I don't know where they threw my name. One, which is what made me strong, which is what made me, for those who know me in person, which is the motivation why, if you tell me you need job and so on, I could go all lengths. I will have sleepless nights until I ensure that you have something doing. Now, there was one job with the local government, primary healthcare to be precise. So I applied. In fact, I heard that information when they just opened portal, come and apply. So I apply, and most of the government jobs, they don't place advert on them. How you get the information is someone who knows who knows who knows who. So you know me, I know you, and so on. That's how most of this job, how they get to know. Sorry, how the information gets to spread. Most time they don't place open or public adverts. In fact, most of the government job, before they will place the advert, the job is at that point where they have already taken who they want, or it's just 2 days for closure or 3 days for closure, and so on. So I applied for this very job. I went to the primary healthcare center. I went there in person to apply. Let me see what will happen this time. Let me then tell me what exactly is it. So I went there. It's going to be funny what they are going to hear out of my experience. What happened was that when I got there, one, to trace the office where they are submitting the application. You must know who is who and know who is who and who and who and so on. That's how the chain is long. So I finally traced the place. I located the place. I went in. Inside that office, when they are submitting the application, for those who are in the medical field, you have heard that word where they say a cupboard in a cupboard. You have heard that word where they say a cupboard in a cupboard. So it's like office in an office in an office in an office in an office. That's just how it looks like. So you first of all pass through several offices. Then another office will now lead you upstairs. You pass through several upstairs and so on. And later, and for each of them, you must keep answering the question: who told you there was employment? Who told you you were applying? And so on. You have to give certain proofs and so on and so on till you finally reach. So when I finally reached the third to the last office. It was a stressful one. When I reached the third to the last office, they never allowed me to proceed beyond them. They told me it was meant for female. They were open enough to tell me it was just meant for female. I was like, how will you tell me this job is meant for female? We all have the same certification and everything. That they need both the doctors and everything. It was just meant to be females. The nurses, the pharmacists and everything. Which kind of lie is this one now? When I have seen male, in fact the ones I even know, have come and dropped application and gone. And you're telling me it was meant for female. I beg. What did I not do? I had to fake tears if I could cry. I had to do everything. At some point, they now say, okay. When they saw they could not discourage me, they say, okay, I come inside. They carry me to the second to the last office. At that point, the person who is in charge of that last office where you submit that letter, I don't know how he heard my voice. Was like, who is this one and who is disturbing there and so on. I beg and tired. They told me I should go, that they are not taking employment and so on. I now slip into that office. I saw, look at heaps of letter they are collecting and people were already sitting in that office about submitting, they were compiling. And this is the same people telling me there is no employment and so on and so on. I was disappointed, Thank you, listen. Thank you. You're welcome to this live stream. You're welcome. Or I was disappointed. I was heartbroken. I was like, in this country, must everything be man, no man? Must everything be by connection? I was so disappointed. At the end of the day, they told me that I can't submit. The woman came out bluntly that it was just a waste of time for me to submit, that they would throw away my application. I was heartbroken. Now, this is where it got me really pained. I didn't have transport by then. Something happened along the way, which is a story I don't want to venture into. I had some misunderstanding with my parents. As at then, I had some misunderstanding with my parents. So more or less was like they disowned me as at that point. So I was just struggling between life. In fact, I was just struggling with life as at then. And then that was my last morning I used for transport. And I didn't have any money to pay back. The distance was not smiling at all. This is a distance that using vehicle to get there, it was not less than 2 to 3 hours to get to that office where I went. So imagine me trying to walk back to the house. After the woman told me, I cried. I cried on her foot. There are some of the things I hold very high that I don't do. Some of it, they include kneeling down for someone. I had to kneel down that day for this woman. I don't have this belief that if something is not meant for me, it's not meant for me. Why should I kneel down for a human being like me? But that day I knelt down. I cried. That day I cried. I was like, please, ma, can you just help me? Since I finished school, I have not had job to do. I've had nobody to help me, nobody from anywhere. I'm just suffering from hand to mouth. Please, can you just help me? I'm in pains. Please. In fact, this was my last transport. I don't know why I had to say that in that office that day. I said a lot in that office. This was my last transport. I don't even know. Do you know that I trekked halfway for that very journey and paid halfway? And then I was under the rain. Rain soaked me. I don't know. There are certain days in your life where, for those who may be going through what kind of situations I'm sharing now, rain fell, storm that day. In fact, that was one of the days in my life. I don't know who have seen ice rain before. Rain that drops with ice. That was another time of my life I saw ice. I've seen that not less than 3 or 4 times. I've seen it that thrice or 4 times in my life. Rain dropping with ice. This year it have even rained in one of the northern states in Nigeria. Rain with ice. So it was very stormy that day. So I cried. The woman saw I was drenching with rain that have soaked me. So I told her, please help me. The woman was hardened. Already people had told me, someone who finally allowed me to enter that third to last office, had told me that that woman is hardened-hearted. She has a stone heart. That there is no need for me to proceed, that I might be disappointed at the end of the day. So seeing me encountering this woman at this end, I was heartbroken. Like I was heartbroken. After all my tears and everything, I stepped off the office. I was almost at the point where I wanted to say, could it be that women are this hard-hearted? I used to hear that women, especially those that have had experiences in life, sometimes when they come to position where that very thing, that favor they were looking for, comes out. I don't know. Somehow I used to hear those kind of gist like that they can be so, especially maybe let's say relationship-wise, they can be so hardened with men. I don't know. I used to hear something like that. So that thought came to my head. I was like, could it be such kind of person as well? I was like, I cried. They were just looking at me coming out of that office. People, compassion well on a couple of them. Even when I stepped out of the office, they asked me, I made like 3 files that contained my credentials and so on and the application. So they're like, okay. 2 persons before I stepped out of that gate collected my application. So I came out. And they said they will see what they can do. Now, it was for me to trek back home. And the rain started again. As at that point. If you are still with me, please let me know in the comment box if you are still with me. And if you are finding this very section, what's your time? Let me know in the comment box. Let me see how many persons are still active. If you are still with me, let me know in the comment box. I want to know how many persons are still active. And if you are finding this very section interesting, let me know in the comment box. So as at that point, I was now left to trek home. And I told God, I need the grace from you. Only you alone can help me as at this point. Help me out. I need the enablement. One, I never even ate before going there. So that was my last money I was supposed to use for dinner. So I trekked back under that rain. I trekked back. It took me 6 hours. 6 good hours plus before I arrived home. 6 good hours. You don't want to imagine the pains I felt on my foot. You don't want to imagine that, in fact, the hunger ran away. I don't want to even say the hunger I felt. It ran away. I never even had money to get water. Because where I was, they used to buy water. So I had to even go beg for water to drink and so on. And I can remember vividly well. I went to the corner of my bed and I shed tears. I cried. I said, Father, if you can just give me job at this point of my life, if you can give me job, something to do, that for this alone, when I meet someone in my shoes, in this very kind of situation, I will not take money from them. I will help them out. The pain I felt that day made me see life in different angles. And I compare myself to a lot of persons, seeing what people are passing through. That became a motivation for me. That if I hear someone say, I'm not working and this, compassion well out of me. There are certain pains when I hear people talk about, I seem to relate with them because of these memories in me. And thank God, today when I look back, I'm like, so God indeed carried me through these phases. So that's why when some people are like, you are lucky now. People will be like, you only even have a good paid job and so on. I'll be like, inside me, I'll be like, you don't know my story. You don't know my story. Can someone type there? You don't know my story. Just type in the comment box, you don't know my story. Thank you, Marilyn. Thank you for being active. Thank you, Marilyn. Thank you so much. Can someone type in the comment box, you don't know my story? So when I heard this, I was like, or whenever people say this comment, I'll be like, you don't know my story. But because I know that fruit most times still attract stones, still attract sticks. Amongst other things, fruit attracts people. So people will flog around. People come to your life when you're at that point where you can help. So there is a wise saying that say, people want to know how much you love and not how much you know. People want to know how much you love and not how much you know. People that come to your life, they're not just coming to know how much do you know? How much are you intelligent? To what extent are you intelligent? To what extent are you wise enough? To what extent are you prudent enough? They want to know how much you love. People are coming for their self-interest. People that flock around your life, they're coming for what they can gain. People come to your life for what they can get out of you. So don't feel disappointed when they leave if they can't get it. Don't feel disappointed when they criticize you. So tomorrow, if after you have risen, use your pain to understand what people can pass through, what people can do in frustration. Understand what people are passing through out there. Use your pain to understand what people are facing. And don't be disappointed when they criticize you. Don't be disappointed when they turn back against you. When the same people you feed are the one rising up against you, don't feel disappointed. Because fruits, please take note of this, attract stones. Fruits still attract the wind. Fruits still attract the sun. Fruits still attract the rain. Take courage. And for those who may be thinking that your story is the worst, no, there are people passing through more. Just because they don't say, just because people fake it and go with smiling faces doesn't mean that your own is the worst. Just because people fake it doesn't mean that your own is the worst. Trust me, there are people facing grievous things than what you are passing through right now. You can still rise. Yes, you can still rise. You can get up and become very strong. I'm going to go to this other point. Don't allow your pain break you to that point where you hate people when you become stronger. Don't allow your pain break you to the point where you can't stretch foot and helping hand when you make it tomorrow. Don't close the door of salvation to someone when you can still help. Don't get to that point where your pain have so much broken your heart, melt your heart, that you no longer have human sympathy. Don't get to that point where you can't even consider other persons. Don't allow your pain of today when you make it tomorrow destroy the bowels of compassion. Thank you so much, my twinnie. Thank you so much, my twinnie. You're welcome to my live stream. You're welcome. Thank you so much. So don't allow your pain make you give up today, because connected to your life are destinies. There are people who will be happy because they see you alive. There are persons where you are, you think is the worst. They are craving to be where you are. There are people, that state where you think your story is the worst, is the best story they're even craving for. So my mentor, Apostle Joshua Selman, says that you don't know how many persons are craving for the office where you are. Just step out of it, because life does not tolerate vacuum. Life does not tolerate vacuum. Step out of it and see how many persons will be rejoicing to go to that position where you feel is the worst for you, where you feel that is the worst. So don't allow your pains get you to that point when the knife, the sharp blades of the knife, becomes the only option. Don't allow your pains get you to that point where drug addiction becomes the point where you can resort to. That you lost a loved one does not mean that loved one you lost wants to see you in the grave. Wake up. That you lost money does not mean you can't make it tomorrow. It does not mean that was all that is daring. That friends left you does not mean good things are not coming. Mind you, the beautiful ones are not yet born. Please type that in the comment box. The beautiful ones are not yet born. Let me see how many persons are still active. Type that in the comment box. The beautiful ones are not yet born. So that friends lives your life today does not mean that you can't have more and better and the best friends in the future, because the beautiful ones are not yet born. You are yet to meet friends that stick closer than a brother, than a sister. Thank you so much, my twinnie. Thank you so much. You are yet to meet friends that mean the world much more than a sister. You are yet. I once managed a depressed patient last year, December. She was at that point. She was a writer. I think she was a nurse. Yeah, she was a nurse. So that tells us that depression, if you have watched my live stream on depression, depression does not respect age. Depression does not respect qualification. Depression does not respect where you come from. In fact, does not even respect your car, does not respect your achievement. So she was a nurse, and she was at that phase where her relationship. Thank you so much, my boss. My boss is here. Thank you so much, Sonia. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, my dear sister. She said I should not be calling her boss. I can't help. Yes, so there's a saying that says that in the animal kingdom, all animals, even though they are equal, there are some that are more equal than others. So in this very kingdom, there are some that are more equal than others. So you are more equal than me. Anyway, so as I was saying, she was depressed because she was at that point where that guy have come for introduction. The guy have come for introduction already, and they were about getting married. And then the guy disappointed her. I told her, what lives your life was not meant for you. Take note of that. Whatsoever lives your life today was not meant for you. Whoever lives your life today do not deserve you. Whoever lives your life do not deserve you. Whoever cannot stay in that phase of your struggle today, where you don't have the car, does not deserve your car tomorrow. Does not deserve does not deserve your time. I'm not saying you should be wicked. I'm only saying whosoever that cannot stay with you through your challenging phase, your trying phase, does not deserve you. So they are only telling you that tomorrow they would have disappointed you. So they are even leaving earlier to save you that stress. So Their leaving is an indication that tomorrow they would have left you. Who will disappoint you tomorrow? I used to say this. Let me ask this question. I don't know who might give me this answer. Let me ask this question. Do you know the difference between a ripe fruit and unripe fruit? Thank you so much, my twinnie. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, my twinnie. Do you know the difference between a ripe fruit and unripe fruit? Let me help us out for once of time. The difference between a ripe fruit and unripe fruit, friends, and that is T. Time is the difference. The difference between the ripe fruit and unripe fruit. Because one day, that unripe fruit will be ripe. One day, the unripe fruit will be ripe. Let me explain. That friend that will leave you today always wanted to leave. That friend that left leave. That friend that will never stay. So, when the time is ripe, they left when the time was due. Their stay in your life is due. Everybody in your life has a time frame, a time duration in your life to stay. Nobody comes to stay in your life forever. Please take note of this. Know this and know peace. Nobody comes to your life to stay forever. Nobody comes to your life to stay forever. So they will leave when the right time ripens. So I told her, whosoever does not stay does not deserve you. And everybody that comes to your life will one day leave, including that your loved one that you think you can sacrifice the world for, one day might leave you. In any form, might even be the calling of life that calls them, one day leave. So nobody stays in our life forever. And so therefore, prepare your mind that people do not stay forever and expect that day when they will leave. That will save you a lot of heartbreak. So when I told her, interesting enough, because for me anyway, for now I'm hustling enough. I'm hustling because I'm still single. Maybe I'm not searching, but I'm single. So I use my single days to hustle enough. So I met her in a facility where I don't really base there. So she thought I was like a resident, like I was residing there, like that was my main place of job. So, assignment. So I told her, she was thinking that was my main place of assignment. Three of her went deeper to her. So she was looking for me just to say thank you. Only for her to be told I wasn't there, I did not come to work, and so on. She has picked up. So I came like 2 weeks later to the same place, and I noticed that she has been discharged. I asked about her, and they told me that she was looking for my number, she was looking for my contact, just so that she can contact me to appreciate me. I was like, what happened? He said that she recovered. She took less than 3 days for her to pick up out of depression. I've handled a couple of depressed patients like that. So please refer to me if you have any depressed patient. If you have any depressed patient, refer to me. We can talk out of it by God's grace. God helping, we can talk the person out of depression. So she called me and said, so later she came for outpatient, she saw me. She was like, God, I was a lifesaver, I was an angel for that day, I was this and this and this and this. I was like, that's life for us. Yes, that's life for us. There are persons who committed suicide because the right person never met them moments before they made that attempt. Yes, the right person never met them. That's why you don't need to keep quiet when you meet anybody suicidal. Anybody suicidal, don't keep quiet. Blow the alarm. So remember, like that, time I talked about the difference between ripe fruit and unripe fruit and so on. Let me also tell you on the other hand that one day the unripe fruits will be ripe. One day you that think something good cannot come out of you, that is saying, is there anything good out of Nazareth? One day you will also make it. Please type in the comment box, one day I will also make it. Let me see how many persons are still with me. Just like that unripe fruit, one day will become ripe with time. So you that is listening to me, you that think that all is done for you, you that is not seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, one day you will also make it. Please type it in the comment box, one day I will also make it. Let me see how many persons are still active. Let me see how many persons are still active. One day I will also make it. Okay, my twinnie, hope you are enjoying your new place. Okay, that's for my sister. So please, I made a video the other day where I talked about Vibe with Sonia. That's my mentor. That's my mentor. So please, you can connect with her. You can connect with her channel. Do what to connect with her. She have interesting content you like. Yeah, she's versatile in most areas that you want to listen to. She's worth your time. She's worth your listening. Do well to connect with her. So I think about the point of wrapping up for this night's live section. I'm about the point of wrapping up. So I said, if you are still with me, just type in the comment box, I will also make it. I will also make it. Just type there, I will also make it. I'm saying that just like that unripe fruit with the ripe fruit, one day the unripe fruit will be ripe. So that means that you that think that you cannot come out strong, one day you too, you come out strong. One day you will make it. So don't allow your pain break you to the point of giving up. Don't allow your pain break you to the point where you are so broken that you don't see light at the end of the tunnel. You will come out strong. I'm certain about that. You will indeed come out strong. All right, I don't know if anybody has a question to ask in this very discussion. You have an experience to share. Let us know in the comment box by exactly that should be 8 minutes, no, less than 8 minutes from now. I'll be drawing the curtain. So if you have any experience you want to share with us, let us know in the comment box. If you have any experience, let us know in the comment box. If you have any experience in line with this very discussion, and then if you have learned anything, let us know in the comment box what you have been able to pick out of this night's discussion. Let us know what you have been able to pick out of this night's discussion. If you have picked anything at all. Hi Wesley, welcome to this night discussion. It's a live stream on the Phoenix effect. And the Phoenix effect is just about you bouncing back at the end of every downfall, at the end of every failure, at the end of every challenge. You bouncing back at the end of every challenge. That's what the Phoenix effect entails. So it entails you coming out stronger, coming out better, rising from your ash, rising from the challenge, rising in the midst of the storm, getting stronger, soaring stronger. And so when the going gets tough, the tough keeps going. When the going gets tough, when the going gets tougher, the tough keeps going. So King Martin Luther the Jr. once said that if you can't fly, walk. If you can't walk, crawl. If you can't, he said, by all means, keep moving. By all means, keep moving. So I've said that the difference between a ripe fruit and unripe fruit is actually time. Because one day, that very unripe fruit will be ripened. It will also get ripe. So where you are today thinking that's the end, that nothing good can come out of you. One day, you'll get better, you get stronger, and you get happier. All right, I'm actually streaming from Nigeria, the commercial city of Nigeria. I'm actually streaming from the commercial city of Nigeria, Lagos to be precise. I'm streaming from Lagos State, Nigeria. Wesley, I'm streaming from Lagos State, Nigeria. I hope you can get me. I hope you can get me. All right. So if you have any, all right, thank you. So Marilyn says that take home lesson. The difference between an unripe fruit and a ripe fruit is time. The unripe fruit will also get ripe. Thank you so much, Marilyn, for that. Thank you so much, Marilyn, for that. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yes, indeed. One day, that unripe fruit will get ripened. And like the pregnant woman, people may not understand the level of pain you are going through. Keep pushing because you need that pain to push. You need that pain to get stronger. You need that pain to push. You need that pain to get stronger. You need that pain to bet your destiny. Keep pushing. Like the pregnant woman, you are going through pain. They are asking you, please cooperate. Please put yourself together. That pain is what you need to push. Use your pain of today. Keep pushing. Because if you give up on the pain, you won't rise from your ash. If you give up on yourself, if you give up because of the pain, there are destinies connected to you. There are people looking up to you. There are people depending on you. Yes, stay put. Enjoy the pain. Appreciate the pain. You will come out stronger. You will come out stronger. I am certain you will come out stronger. You can still rise. Like the plant, like a tree by the riverside, you will spring up. You will come out stronger. Don't give up. No, don't give up. You will come out stronger. So I don't know who is also connected, who is there again. Let me know what you have learned from today's discussion. If you have an experience to share, let us know in the comment box. If you had something to add, let us know in the comment box. Let us know your take home from this night's discussion. And if you have someone depressive, you have someone whom life looks gloomy, whom life, you're at that point where you're at the verge where you want to give up, please, we can always talk. You can also listen to this very recording. I'll also post the rebroadcast. I will post the rebroadcast. Do well to listen to this recording. Like my mentor will always say, don't think you have heard all. There are points you have missed. Do well to listen to this rebroadcast. There are lots you pick up at the end of the day. Yes, there are lots you pick up. For those who have stayed to this point, I love you all. I love you all. I love you all. I love you all. Let me know your take home. Let me know your take home. Let me know what you have learned from this night discussion. Let me know your advice to someone out there. What you want to tell someone out there. Someone going through challenges at this point. Someone depressed at this point. Let me know. Thank you so much, Favor. Thank you so much, Favor. Thank you so much, my twin sister. I heart you. I heart you. I heart you. Let me know what is your encouragement to someone out there. I've said if you have a depressed patient, we can always book a section. You can always book a section. You can always book a section. If you have a depressed patient, you can book a section with me. But first of all, how you are going to pass through to do that is through the comment box. Just comment on the comment box, because I have learned that a lot is going on in recent time on social media. Maybe don't just rely on the links. Comment on the comment box. When I react to your comments, I'll let you know myself and then how you're going to connect with me. Okay? I'll let you know. I'm even looking forward to change my flyer and so on, so that my contact will be a bit confidential, so that more or less it will only be for those persons who want to book section and so on. So please let me know your take home. Let me know your take home. In the next 2 minutes, I should be wrapping up. 2 minutes more. Let me see who is still there. Who is still there with me? Who is still there with me? I appreciate every one of you for coming this far with me. I don't know if anybody have any other advice to give. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for connecting to this live stream. What would wisdom have done without you? What would wisdom have done if God didn't send you people my path? What would wisdom have done if it never came my path? Thank you so much. God bless you. God bless you. God bless you. God bless you at this point. I appreciate you. I don't have millions out there to give you. I don't have millions out there to show you how much I appreciate your presence. But take this sincere gratitude from me that my heart wells with so much joy as at this point for having you connect to this live stream. Please do well to share this very live stream. Do well to share this very live stream. Do well to share this very live stream so that someone out there will get to learn. Someone out there will get encouraged. Someone out there will get motivated. Someone out there will get strengthened. Do well to share this live section. Do well to share it, please. Share this link. When I post the rebroadcast, do well to share, please. Thank you so much, my twinnie. Goodbye, 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 goodbye. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm about ending. In a minute time, I'll be done. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. All right, do well to share the link. Do well to comment. Do well to react. Do well to refer someone to this very video, this very live stream. Thank you so much. God bless you all. See you on my next live stream. I might be coming on tomorrow. I think I want to I might likely be discussing on where to seek medical advice, the right place to run to in different disease condition, different health condition, different health challenge. So please, it might likely be the topic for tomorrow. So do well to connect. I think it might likely be around 10 p.m. For tomorrow, might likely be around 10 p.m. Do well to connect so that you keep yourself informed. Health is wealth. Please note that from me. Health is wealth. So don't play with your health. Take it very serious. It is who is alive that will enjoy what is in life. It is who is alive that will enjoy what is in life. So take your health very serious. God bless you all. Thank you so much for staying this far. I will be backing out as at this point. Want to draw the curtain at this point. Thank you so much, Marilyn, for connecting. Thank you so much, my twinnie, the nurse midwife. Thank you so much, Wesley. Thank you so much, Blessing. Thank you so much, Sonia. Thank you so much, who again connected. Thank you so much, Favor. Thank you so much, Debbie House. Thank you so much, Mary Quincy. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Make Money with Favor. Thank you so much, Gift. For as many that connected to this night live stream, I want to appreciate all of you. You are the real G. You are the real G. You are the real deal. You are the real ones. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. God bless you all. See you tomorrow, more likely 10 p.m. More likely 10 p.m. Thank you so much. Good night. Good night. Good night. Good night to all of you. See you on my next stream. God bless you.